Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. Today, I'm going to be showing you how you can be seen everywhere using the power of PR. My name is Amanda FitzGerald, and I'm also known as the ultimate door opener, but I'll tell you a bit more about that in a minute. So let's get started. I am really never knowingly seen without leopard print. I'm even wearing it today. So that's one of my little golden nuggets, which I talk to people about. To make you stand out from the crowd, what is it about you that makes you slightly different to all the other VAs, life coaches, mental health experts? Think about when you're pitching to the press and you can say, comma, I'm a Jimi Hendrix guitarist, or I'm a wild water swimmer, which is what I am, or I'm a leopard print addict. It's always good to stand out from the crowd with something which was a bit unique about you. So that's a bit about me. But before we get started, I want to ask you a question. Do you know this? Because many people don't really get the difference. I just want to clarify the difference between advertising and PR. So what does PR stand for? It's not publicity, it stands for public relations. Now, advertising or adverts, they are paid for. An advertorial, you have to pay because it's like an editorial mixed with an advert. But the beautiful thing about PR, which is why everybody should be doing it, but not enough people are doing it, they're burning their cash on Facebook ads and all the other adverts, is, PR is free. You do not pay a journalist to include you in their articles. If they do, that journalist is actually asking you for an advertorial or not being very scrupulous, but this never happens. A journalist will never ask you to pay to appear, unless it's one of those funny, strange things when people slide into your DMs and Instagram and they go, oh, if you want to be, the top 200 people or the top 20 people in Forbes magazine, and it's going to cost you £5,000 for the privilege, just walk right away. So I'm going to give you some examples of PR, okay, of publicity. So you can have some features in the lovely Top Sante or Psychologist magazine. I mean, these are the key places where people want to appear. All right, so it's magazine features online and offline. Or, this is really important, getting podcast interviews. I've got a client who's literally killing it, and she has been seen everywhere in the US because she is literally going to be on so many podcasts and radio interviews. So PR covers not only the traditional thing, which everybody thinks about, magazines, print and TV, but also podcasts. Think about thought leadership articles, perhaps. That's another place where you can be putting your expertise. If you are a leader in your field or your clients are leaders in their field, how can they stand out from the crowd and showcase their thought leadership? Okay, so you can pitch for thought leadership pieces. You've also got TED Talks. Now, have you ever thought that you could actually stand up and do a 15-minute TED Talk? That is a really great way to get some publicity, because the minute you have a TED Talk, you are literally going to be in front of thousands, because it can just grow exponentially. I was watching somebody the other day, and I think they had 7.8 million views on a TED Talk, and it's Chimamanda. But, she's quite famous. But even if you start small, getting a TED Talk is fantastic for your credibility and just getting that logo on your website. PR can also lead to, but it's also PR is you doing a speaking gig. So you standing up on stage in front of an audience, which is not your social media audience, okay? Another way to get publicity is to actually be an expert and to do some commentary on radio, TV, or newspapers. Journalists are crying out every single day for an expert to comment on the latest government findings, on the latest survey, on this legislation, that legislation. So the commentaries, that's why you need to tune into the news and hear what is going on in your industry. If you're in the beauty industry, you can comment and be that person that they call up and have as their guest expert. I've got a careers expert, and she literally now picks and chooses where she appears because she's invited all the time. So the minute you get onto the lists of these journalists, of the producers, it's brilliant. Another example of PR is you having a profile piece written about you, the business owner, and how you can inspire the readers or the viewers or the listeners. So that's all about you, the actual business owner. Another example is breaking news, both locally and nationally. So if you've got a massive story, you might even be doing some whistleblowing. So once I got a client into the Mirror as a whistleblowing piece, bit of investigative journalism. And as a result of that, he managed to have, I mean, catch this, £210,000 worth of business. It was amazing. He was basically whistleblowing his competitor. The competitor then decided to work with him and collaborate with him because he was like blowing. Yeah, it was really incredible. So you might be sharing or breaking news locally and nationally. So when I'm talking about getting publicity, I don't only mean getting into Red Magazine and the Telegraph. Going locally is the best place to start. I always tell my clients to start locally. And then doing guest expert slots. So if you have friends or colleagues and you can pitch yourself to be a guest expert in people's Facebook groups, that's another example of getting some PR for yourself. So this is, I think, hopefully by now you've realized that it's an essential marketing activity for your business. But are you yet pitching to the press? Or are you thinking, no, I'm the best kept secret. I want to be the best kept secret. Or are you shouting at the radio thinking, I actually want to be there? So let's see what we can do about that. So another key point is this: publicity helps you to reach audiences without that paid for traffic or paid ads. That's the best thing. And I know that from experience when I was running my business, which I'll tell you a bit about right now. So my business inspiration is my mother. Just had her 80th birthday. This picture of her over here was probably when she's about my age. I'm 52. And I would come in as a moody teenager with my school bag on, go, hi, Mum, how you doing? She'd turn around and go, hi, Amanda, I'm just working at my desk. And I'd be thinking, oh, my God, it looks so boring running your own business. However, I've literally copied her. And I am doing exactly, my kids come in and go, hi. I'm doing exactly what she did. So she ran a very successful mail order company in the 1980s and 90s. She got so much publicity, it was almost like a weekly basis. But her business blew up when she got into the Daily Mail and they featured her very small little catalogue. This is the glitzy, glammy catalogue it ended up being, but originally it was literally just one sheet of black and white hand-drawn drawings of her beads, okay? That's how she started her business. She ended up turning over $1 million from her kitchen table. It's all, everything is possible. If you want it, you achieve it, you can do it. Anyway, she got massive press coverage. So she's actually my business inspiration, okay? So I decided I was going to set up my own business and sell knitwear imported from Peru. I've got a little sample of a hat here. I don't know if you can see that. My ex-husband is from Peru. Buenos dias, if you're speaking Spanish. And I decided to kind of do something similar to my mum. She was importing beads from all around the world and selling them in the UK. I decided to import luxury alpaca knitwear and sell it to the UK. So here's literally a hand drawing sample of what I would send over to the factory. And this, ta-da, is what it would turn into. Look at that, beautiful ponchos. We did professional photo shoots. And these are actually called cutouts. These images, when they've got no background, that's not a cutout. But you can, these days, it's fantastic in Canva. You can easily very simply do a cutout. In the olden days, when I first started the business back in 2008, Canva, did that exist? No. Mr. Clipping, did he exist? No. I literally had my very own Mr. Clipping. I think he was called Rob. I used to photograph like the beret on the, from my table like this, click. And then I had to send it off to this guy who would then painstakingly cut around the image and make a cutout. And I think I used to pay him £1 an image in the UK. So that, that's what it is. But these days, it's just very easy for all of you to have beautiful, fantastic photographs. And also, whenever you're pitching you or your bosses or your companies, people, you literally need to have really good headshots, okay? Professional headshots, that's really important. And if you sell a product or service, you need to get some very stylish shots that literally can just be dropped into the shopping pages, okay? So what I did was I decided to sell the knitwear and I built an e-commerce store. This is probably like the third iteration of it. The company before was called Peruvian Knitwear. I rebranded. But I did that and I just thought, how am I going to actually end up, reaching a wider audience? And it was like so overwhelming having Instagram, Facebook, all the rest of it. What the hell am I going to do? So I just thought I'm going to go face to face and have all of these pop-up shops. So I actually ended up doing in the region of 125 pop-up shops. And that is my beautiful baby Nina. She's now 15, just taken her GCSEs. So she'd come round with me when she wasn't, when it was a Saturday shop. But yeah, it was exhausting selling all of this knitwear. But then, amazingly, I pitched and I won a startup award. And I think I won £2,000. And I ended up buying a camera so I could do really good photographs. I ended up getting masses of press coverage, local press coverage. And because I was so fast at responding to the journalist, she actually kept on calling me up and going, Amanda, I've got a page to fill. Would you like to be in my travel section? Yes, I'd love to. So I'd be interviewed, and it was really good. So enter travel awards. Enter business awards. They are excellent in terms of boosting your business. Okay. However, I had a bit of publicity thanks to the business award, but I was still doing my, all my schlepping around doing those 125 pop-up shops. This was probably the 120th pop-up shop. And one day I did it and it was like the worst day ever. I literally took zero. I had to travel really far. I'm in Colchester. I think it was in Hemel Hempstead. You have to set up the stand. You stand there all day, farm out the kids or whatever. It's exhausting. And I took zero. It was my worst day ever. And I just thought, do you know what? I actually think I'm going to give up this and try and get a job. But then, ta-da, something amazing happened. A true game changer moment happened because I'd actually sent off a little email to the Independent with this very beret. Look at that, this very beret. And I got published in the Independent. And I was sitting at my desk on Sunday, and this is a true story, because I was looking back at my notes and my sales and everything like that. And because I was asked to do a talk actually at a networking group, and they wanted to know my story. And I'd sent this in, and then suddenly I was getting all these orders, and I thought, where are these orders coming in from? So whenever you get a new client into your life, you always say, how did you hear about me? It's essential that you find that out. And I said, oh, I saw you in the Independent. I thought, oh my God, I need to go and buy that newspaper. And then I thought, yeah, that is it. That is simply the game-changing moment of me getting into the press. Meanwhile, these are my kids using my MAC lipstick. I still wear it. It's Twig. If anybody wants to give me a nice Christmas present or a birthday present, they were doing that whilst I was pitching, because I decided stop doing the pop-up shops and start doing pitching your own business to the press. So I went to the local press. I went to Worcestershire living, because that's where I'm from. I live in Essex, but I am from Worcestershire. I was pitching to the pregnancy and baby magazines, to Vogue, Woman and Home, Mother and Baby, all of these publications, and I was actually getting in them. So I literally was cracking the code on pitching to the press. I did make mistakes, and I did actually get blacklisted on one time because I pitched to a journalist so many times in the same day that she got really pissed off at me and said, Amanda, never call me again. But what I have done all the mistakes so that I can teach you guys how to do it. So before we go any further, I want to show you, when you're pitching you or your business or your colleagues or whatever to the press, you need to think about the press hook journey. It's a six-step journey. Number one, you need to tune in. Okay, so tune in to that publication. Let's say you want to get into psychologists. When I say tune in, I just literally mean buy it, subscribe to it and read it, or the podcast or wherever you want to go into. Tune in and listen. Then, you're going to have your big idea. Oh my God, I can pitch to psychologists. For example, I've just seen this thing here called Lonely This Christmas. Easy ways to reach out to others if you feel alone. And this is a really good one in Top Sunday, this title is the new way to beat anxiety. Oh, we want to know the new way, don't we? So then you're going to have your new idea about pitching to whatever publication you want to get into. Then you have your email, but you've got to have a killer headline. So killer headline is you just get inspiration from magazine front covers, because the headlines tend to be between 5 to 9 words long. So they've got to be, powerful headlines that the journalists are going to go, oh my God, we need to interview this person about the new way how to beat anxiety. Okay. So then the journalist has received your email, opened it, loved it, and they now pitch it to the team. So your journalist contact is now going to be pitching it to their gatekeeper, okay, which is the editor or the team. They say yes, so then you've got your coverage achieved. Woohoo! And then point number 6 is the audience is now going to be hooked in to your original hook. So the most important thing to think about the press hook journey is the audience. Why are they going to relish it? Okay, so people who are in, looking at magazines about health and fitness and mindfulness, they will be really interested in that piece about the new way to beat anxiety. So always think about the audience when you're actually pitching. Okay, so that's your press hook journey. And then I'm going to show you a little PR secret, which is called the Profitable PR Bio Triangle. So this is really important, and it's been developed over many years of dealing with many journalists. When I have my VIP clients, and we go to a London club where I'm a member, and I interview them, and then I say, okay, Helen or Susie or whoever, to the journalist, my client's top line is, so I'm going to explain what I mean. And I always basically, you could always see it as a triangle in my head because I'm very visual. So I've now got it thanks to Canva. So what is your top line? What is your moniker? You don't always have to have a moniker, but it's sometimes nice to have one. What is your nail it in 8? And what is your golden nugget? So now I'm going to give you the examples. So my top line, my mega top line, is I'm a business coach. People call me the ultimate door opener. So I call that my moniker. And then what do? I say it's really good to actually say what you do in 8 words. I mean, I give you up to 12, but 8 is good. I help entrepreneurs to confidently pitch to the press. And then what's my golden nugget? I started at the very beginning saying I love leopard print. I'm a wild water swimmer, but another golden nugget is I can say hello in 16 different languages. When I was recently on Jeremy Vine doing that very thing, so looking for people who could speak many languages. So I texted in and then I was interviewed. It was brilliant. So therefore, just think about what your top line is. So what are you? Are you a mental health expert? Are you a life coach, an accountant, a VA, a crypto specialist, a driving instructor, a mindset coach, physiotherapist? What are you? What do you do? Because when you speak and pitch to a journalist, or even if you go to a networking event and see people face to face or on Zoom calls, people instantly want to put you into a pigeonhole. And it's really important because then people know who they're talking to and what your area of expertise is. So I've actually got a bit of a formula here, and it goes something like this: I or we, and then you put your verb in: help, train, supply or support, your target audience in 1 or 2 words, how to or with, find, develop, create or produce, then your awesome outcome adjective, and then your awesome outcome. What do I mean? I'm going to show you right now. Give you some examples. So I coach entrepreneurs how to secure game-changing press coverage, or we train ambitious VAs how to skyrocket their businesses and be fully booked. Actually, that could be a really good one. We train ambitious or hardworking VAs how to earn over 5K per month. Woo! Or we train ambitious executives to break the glass ceiling. Or I coach lawyers on brink of burnout to thrive. We coach everyday accountants how to stand out from the crowd. Or we teach aspiring beauticians how to run profitable salons. Or we produce super easy to follow GCSE study guides for SEND kids, special educational needs kids. Okay, those are just some examples. So have a go at writing down your own. And then the secret number 2 I want to share with you today is all about profitable PR opportunities, okay? So I've got a bit of a 7-minute method so everybody can pitch their business, can PR their business in literally 7 minutes a day. So what you need to do for this is to prepare your pitch or your reply to the journalist call out, okay? And then you hop on over to hashtag journo request, which is inside Twitter, and then you'll see a call out. And if you want to be more specific, you can actually put in, let's say you work in fashion, it would be hashtag journo request and then fashion or beauty. So put your area of expertise, but you don't always need to do that. Now my hack for using this is literally you go to latest. So you go to the search bar inside Twitter, then you press hashtag journo request, and then you'll have, it says top people, latest, groups, or something like that. Go straight to latest, and then you'll literally see the most recent tweet that has been put out, which will be relevant to you. If you go to top, which means the one which has had the most replies, you won't have a chance really, being seen by the journalists, because they literally get inundated. The minute they send them out, boom, they're everywhere. So you just got to make sure whenever you go into Twitter to have your email ready, set out, and then you email that journalist, because very often they have their email in the bio, or you slide into their DMs, or you do 3-pronged approach. You email them, DM, and then you do the comment on Twitter, and then hopefully they'll be interested in you and your amazing response and get you there. And that's what you need to do every day, and it just literally takes 7 minutes. Just a bit of a case study. Julie, amazing. She is a happiness evangelist, Julie Leonard. She only had 22 Twitter followers. Now everybody says, oh, I haven't got, I don't know Twitter, da, da, da. You don't need to start with very many, but she literally had 30 media appearances. So this stuff works, and she is incredible. She's actually just been, a client wrote into her the other day to say, I'd love to take you on board. I've read about you in Happyful or whatever those nice glossy magazines are. And then another thing, she just told me recently that she's been paid by Hello, or is it OK magazine, to write an article. And she's appeared so many times in Platinum magazine. So if you put the work in, you will get the results. Now, I'm going to finish off by telling you all about the PR snowball. What is that? Well, this is what it is. A PR snowball is when you get one piece of press coverage, it can lead to all these things. So you may be the go-to expert, and then you might get invites to speak on stage. People might want to start collaborating with you because you'll share it on LinkedIn. You'd be, given speaking gigs. It's fantastic to raise your credibility and your authority. New clients will find you and dial you in and make inquiries. You'll get more PR. It's brilliant for your SEO juice. You might even get people saying, I want to partner up with you. Can we work together? And it's great for the collaborations. And then if you sell a product, it is literally like my berets. It is the must-have product which everybody wants to have. Okay, so it's not just for Christmas, it is an everyday activity. Okay, so pitching to the press, 7 minutes a day, and then all of those amazing things can happen. So for example, the lovely Judy Bullymore, who is a careers expert, she was featured in HuffPost twice, and as a result, a major recruiter in her industry, like one of the big four, called her up and said, Judy, we'd love you to sit on our round table, and you're going to be in front of 1,000 job seekers. So she literally had all of her target audience. So that's what I mean about the PR snowball. It may not always be a journalist calling you, but somebody else in your industry. It's amazing. I just can't rave on about getting press coverage enough. So I'm going to finish off by introducing a very special offer to you. It's my Power PR Hour. So if this has been like, oh my God, I'd love to do it, but I just don't know where to start. I don't know about a headline. I don't know about my press hook. I invite you to join me on a Power Hour. Okay, it's one-on-one, laser-focused attention on you, and you're going to walk away with the start of your PR plan of action. So what do you get? You get your recording. You get 60 minutes with me on Zoom, one-on-one, nobody else in the room, and you're going to walk away with clarity, confidence, and I hope a lot of inspiration so that you can start pitching yourself to the press, okay? And it's your biggest chance to pick my PR brains. So the special offer, thank you so much for watching. The normal price, if you go onto my website, it's £250. But use this special secret code, POWER99, and then you can get it literally for £99. Can't say better than that. So get your phones out. Scan this thing here, or literally go to amandafitzgerald.co.uk. That'll take you straight to the Power Hour session. And I really look forward to working with you and helping and inspiring you go from all these paid ads, the daily posts, you're competing on social media, reaching an audience which is literally your audience, to this. Okay, you've appeared in all these places, and then it's exponential, the growth that you will have in terms of reaching different audiences. So that is it. Let's connect. Come and find me on Twitter or on Instagram or on LinkedIn, or go to my website, amandapr.com.